First gymnast onto the floor final in this European Championships. Third in the all-round competition, representing Ukraine, Ilya Kovtan.
Not known as a floor specialist, but that's a wonderful start. Full twist into double front. He's a tall gymnast, he has to harness his power, and he does very nicely indeed. Double pike front in that second run. Oh, 3.5 twist. Very clean on all these landings. The gymnasts take the 10 most difficult moves they do and add their value together to give them a D score, a difficulty score. So it's important for every move to be difficult. Oh, and that was a little low, the front summing out of the 2.5, but he covered it well. Beautiful style. Kovtan qualified top for the all-around, but had a couple of mistakes in the all-around final to be third. He'll be very keen to get some medals here, and that was a beautiful triple twist to finish. Very good, clean opening routine there, Craig.
Yep, great start by Kovtan. Just that little bit of error in the middle out the 2.5 twist. Punched a bit low into the front somersault. It won't get a deduction, but it will probably impact the start score. And as Christine said, it's the skills added together to give you a D score, your difficulty, and then the execution comes from 10. So every little step's a 10th. If they go outside the floor, it'd be 0.1. But I mean, he really has improved, not just in the all-round, but on this piece of apparatus, combining the full twist into the double front. Qualified in 8th place, so a first for him into a European floor final. And again, third day of competition. I don't want to make excuses for some of these gymnasts, but he's starting to feel a little bit fatigued, I'm sure. Good landing there, the 2.5. Gymnasts have to perform non-acrobatic elements, so it's not just about tumbling. There you can see the flares, often seen on the pomelos, up into handstand. Scored 14.066 in qualification, 13.733 for Kovtan.
Second gymnast up for Great Britain, gymnast from Leeds, Harry Hepworth.
And Great Britain with Harry Hepworth.
Qualified in the top spot. Oh, big opening tumble from the round off, wraps in, multiple twist, double somersault. Huge full twist into immediate double pike front somersault. Try and stay inside the floor, it's 12 metres square. And again, another huge tumble, double twist into a double front somersault. Just a couple of steps back for adjustment. First major championships for Harry. Again, a lot of experience on the World Cup circuit. And real success. Lovely 2.5 twist, drifts into the straight front somersault. Double twist in, double back, spots the floor. This is looking good. If he keeps this up, he'll certainly challenge for a medal. Come on, Harry. Stands up into the triple. Good routine. Well done.
Well, what an unbelievable performance when you consider, Chris. He hasn't been well, has he, Harry?
No. He had a little spell in the hospital out in Turkey, but he's recovered well, he's shown his strength, and that was a fabulous performance.
What a start in this men's European floor final for Great Britain's Harry Hepworth.
It was huge tumbling. Look, the full twisting front into the double pike front. He really used all of the floor area. Just floated the straight front somersault. He had a great variety of skills. Opened with that enormous triple twisting. There we go, triple twisting double back. 3 twists and 2 somersaults. You have to get so much air time to achieve that. And there the double twist forwards into the double front. That was probably his least secure landing, but he really reacted well to that deep landing.
I'm going to say, actually, that shows great experience for somebody that's not experienced in this type of competition to actually work back and not fall back. It's better to take up, you know, probably 3/10 from that, but a fall's a full mark. So, yeah, shows great promise. Well done, Harry.
Well, he's following a score of 13.733 from Ilya Kovtun. Harry was the highest qualifier here. He scored a 14.6 in qualification. 14.2. It's a big score. 6.4 on the difficulty. Harry Hepworth of Great Britain leads this men's floor final. Milan Ozini of Germany next to go.
And now Germany with Milan Hosseini.
Hosseini as the 4th highest qualifier, and he scored a 14.266, a little bit higher than what Harry's just posted there in this final.
And opens with a very quiet 2.5 twist forwards. Very difficult skill. Oh, classy gymnast. Very slight, but made for great twisting. Oh, that he left his chest down as he landed. It was a good double twisting double back, but he got a bit of a rebound off the floor on that landing. That was better. Just a simple dive roll, but sometimes the simple moves can be done excellently and be very impressive. All these gymnasts have to include some non-acrobatic skills, so some skills that aren't tumbling. But you have to include lots of difficult tumbles. That's quite a quiet tumble, 1.5 into front full at this level. A very, very efficient triple twist. This lad can really twist well.
He can indeed. He doesn't look your traditional good floor worker, actually. He's got a very slight frame, but great spatial awareness and really does use the floor well. Just that pass where they did the double twisting double back, and we've talked about getting a kickback from the floor. If the shoulders are slightly forward and chest down, you do get this awful rebound, Matt, don't you?
Absolutely. Well, this, I mean, what experience. There's a lot of young gymnasts actually in this floor final, and we haven't seen a huge amount from this German team. We know they've been working hard. Had a flurry of medals sort of 5 or 6 years ago, but they've gone quiet. This new generation coming through.
This Europeans feels to me a little bit of a changing of the guard. We're not seeing so many of the names we've seen for the last sort of 8 years in the German team or the French team. Quite a big change, and it looks to be the championships that nations are testing their young gymnasts out.
I'm going to say, Chris, I totally agree. I think there's a lot of gymnasts at home that are being protected, and there's the opportunity for these guys, if they want to make the team for Paris next year, they have to have the experience, so you can't keep them at home. You have to give them the opportunity, and some of these gymnasts have really relished, and some have faltered a little bit, and maybe Paris won't be for next year. They'll be thinking, you know, after that, but it is great to see all these new gymnasts.
Well, a 14.2 will put him ahead of Harry Hepworth, and that's to do with the difficulty score. So although they both scored the same, Hosseini there scored a 5.9 for difficulty, so he's higher on execution. That's 8.3. So Hosseini leads Hepworth, Kovtun in third. Next up, Great Britain's Luke Whitehouse. Brace yourselves. If you like to count somersaults, this is your man.
That was a huge triple back, and often we see him cowboyed in the legs, but that was fantastic. And another big second tumble, double twist into a double front somersault. Double pike, he's very good on the landings. Interesting, he qualified in 7th spot, but if he carries on like this, he could just land himself on a medal. This is so impressive. He has the most difficult routine, 6.5, and the opening tumble, when we talk about gaining difficulty, he gets 0.8 of a mark for the first tumble. Come on, Luke. Double twisting, double back again, another solid landing.
This is incredible stuff.
Well, he works out of Leeds Gym, coached by Andy Butcher, Dave Murray and Tom Rawlinson. Must be a coach for every somersault. This is the best routine for me by far. That has got to go into the top spot. I think we're looking at the floor champion there.
Well, I tell you what, Luke, that was just incredible.
It was amazing. There was only one little step on landing, and that was the triple at the end. That was fantastic work.
Luke Whitehouse has burst onto the European stage in style.
That was so impressive a performance for such a young lad. Yeah, top G, absolutely.
Goodness me, I tell you what, I mean, we've got Dolgopiat coming up later on. He's the current European and Olympic floor champion, and he is going to be worried.
Well, a 6.5 start value. Well, the highest that's been posted in this championship so far, and all performed with really out any error. That's such a clean triple back, isn't it? I don't think I've ever seen a better one in the world.
I agree, totally. Yeah. I mean, as far as the landings were concerned, I don't think I've seen any better floor routines.
Like Chris picked up, there was like 1/10 there. You might be harsh and go that little shuffle at 0.1. I'd even go half a tenth. That is definitely the leader, and but by how much?
Well, the two young gymnasts out to be blooded in this arena from Great Britain have certainly shown their mettle.
14.9 for Luke Whitehouse. Beat that if you can. Wow, that was absolutely huge. What a debut at the Europeans.
Well, you'll know the stats, Matt, but we seem to be very good in Europe on floor, on the men's side and the women's. I mean, it has become a real piece of apparatus for Great Britain. And that was phenomenal. There's nobody that can touch that.
Yes, well, 3 golds, 3 bronze and silver for Great Britain, and there's no doubt about it. Luke Whitehouse is going to add to the tally. We've just got to wait and see what colour that's going to be.
Well, it certainly puts the pressure on this second part of the group that warm up. 4 warm up compete, then the second 4 warm up, and it's their turn now. They are going to be feeling that pressure.
Could you imagine beating the Olympic champion on floor in your first major competition? You're like, I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's very possible.
Well, he's going to have to go some to beat that. I mean, you know, 14.9.
Yeah, on a 6.1 did Dolgopiat, and he just done a 6.5. He's 4 tenths already.
Noah Seifert is the next gymnast to go in this men's European floor final.
Oh, but that was very nice work as well. Flared out of the twisting somersault into the double front. Oh, but that he undercooked. And that, however briefly he sat down, was a sit down, and it's 1 mark deduction. So this gymnast is very unlikely to figure in the medals. But he is very excellent form. Legs, you know, a lot of gymnasts split their legs when they twist. He's so clean and precise. Super handstand shape. So no deductions for form on that tumble, no deductions for landing. Good triple twist, but that costly sit down in the middle, you can see it in his face. He just rushed into that tumble.
Another gymnast actually, it's new into the Swiss team, and we've been impressed with him in the competition so far. Again, day 3 of competition for the all-rounders, so fatigue is going to start to creep in a little bit, and when you go up against a specialist, you know, we've just seen there, fresh, just a little bit sharper, it can make all the difference.
Well, Noah Seifert has another final tomorrow. Parallel bars, he'll be alongside Jake Jarman.
It's a very common combination now, the twist into the double front somersault, either full twist or double twist. And again, this builds the difficulty. Full twist, great spatial awareness, because you go from twisting into rotation, and that's what makes those passes difficult.
He did well in the all-round, actually. He came 5th.
Yeah, as I said, he's really impressed us, this gymnast. And again, you're talking the slightest margin there, just opening out a little bit too soon.
But I think it's quite a valid comment in that he worked all round and was 5th, whereas your specialist like Luke Whitehouse was rested. He hasn't worked for 3 or 4 days, and he came out looking rested, didn't he?
Well, Noah Seifert scores a 12.8 after that sit down on floor. Benjamin Osberger. Osberger, 21 years old.
Another one of the new faces to a floor final. Oh, that was a nice start, 2.5 twist. You can see gymnasts now not opting for the going down the diagonal start. They might go down the side, but that was a very clean double twisting, double back. Oh, he did well there, a little bit low, a little hot there, so he'll pick up a 10th, but the first 2 were very clean. The Russian Wendy circle, often see that on the pommel horse, one of the non-acrobatic elements, one of the requirements. Gymnasts have 4 requirements on each piece of apparatus, one of them being a D dismount. That was well round double twist. Very stylish, this gymnast. Double twist into the top full. So we see some of the top gymnasts double twist will do a double front somersault. So obviously the more somersaults will increase the difficulty. But this will score well on the execution. To me, I don't think it's right up there on the difficulty, but very well performed. I think there's a good chance of maybe a medal. Nice triple. Oh, what a shame. A big step back. He'll lose 0.3 on there, but again, a new face.
Yeah, well, that big step back at the end will be costly. The score for bronze at the moment is Great Britain's Harry Hepworth at 14.2. He scored a 14.133 in qualification, so was hoping for every single 10th, and it's a shame that final jumble pass, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it wasn't a big mistake, but his D score, his difficulty score in qualification was 5.7. Well, when you think that Luke Whitehouse was 6.5, then he's got to be extra. His execution has got to be absolutely faultless if he wants to go higher. But he is a really classy gymnast. Very elegant, as are most of these young gymnasts we've seen at this championships. Hugely well taught. That's a beautiful double twisting, double back, and he lands so well. I think this is some of the best double leg circles on the floor that I've seen. Some of them are a little bit scrappy around the knees, but he's, you know, some gymnasts just have a natural feeling for always having their legs straight, and he looks like one of those people.
It's the finery of the foundations. You can see it.
Yeah,
you know.
I do think, actually, you look at the construction of the men's floor now, it has got a real nice balance.
Yeah.
And a bit like they've done with the women's side, you've got a real nice balance there of the dance and the artistry's really come back, and it's been praised and rewarded. This is fantastic, because it used to be all combination tumbles for the men, and you rarely saw a double somersault. And it's really brought floor alive. To reward somebody for doing a triple back somersault, rightly so as well.
Oh no, I do agree with you. I think the balance is much better. The powers that be in gymnastics that set the scoring have done a good job.
Berger scores a 13.8, so it's not enough to get into the top 3. That guarantees Luke Whitehouse a medal, but what colour will it be? Artem Dolgopiat next up. He's the current European and current Olympic floor champion.
And interestingly, he pulled out of the all-around competition in order to focus on this final.
The pressure will be on. Score to beat, 14.9 from Great Britain's Luke Whitehouse.
Oh, super double straight with multiple twists. Wonderful landing, but it was just a double twist into a straight front, not into a double front, which we've seen from others. Oh, but that was fabulous, wasn't it? 2.5 twist into double front. It didn't travel at all. I just love the way he accelerates his twists. He sets the twist and then wraps it in so fast. But the twisting is so pure. Double twisting, double back, makes it look so simple. Control on the non-acrobatic work. Important, this last tumble. Oh, half in, half out, kicks it out. Very nice landing. A little hop. This is going to be tight.
Wow, you can see why he is the man to beat, the way he just floats and zips his way around the floor area, Craig.
It was great. I do see a few little errors. I think it's good enough for second. I'd be surprised if it's good enough for first place. He has some very big tumbles, but I think, to be fair, when you talk about landings, really, Luke matched him on the landings, and I think he'll take him on the difficulty. I mean, he has some really good stuff. Look, he does power down there. That was a big tumble, 2.5 twist into the double front, but that's a 0.1, the hop forwards. And I think the first one probably picked up 3/10. And I would suggest that his chest very far down there for the floor. So the judges want to see the gymnast face upright. This was the big opener, double twisting, double straight. Again, look, 1, 2, a couple of tenths there. Solid routine, but I think you're looking at second for me.
And he looked a bit shaky when he was stepping away from the floor there.
Yeah, he did. The coach
Yeah.
really looked like he was giving him a lot of support. I mean, as Olympic champion, he will have stepped onto that floor feeling great pressure. To know you've got to do more than 14.9 to take the gold is a big ask.
Well, all eyes are on that scoreboard.
Well, you were talking about this. It's harder to stay the champion, isn't it? You know, he'll have a lot more pressure than the other guys out there.
It's an anxious wait for the Olympic champion. I don't know if he's saying peace or I'm in second. Dolgopiat scores a 14.666. He is in second. Luke Whitehouse leads this men's floor final with one gymnast left to go. And here he is. It's Lucas Desange of France. He was the 6th highest qualifier and posted a 14.1 in qualification. So that will mean that Luke's weight is a little more comfortable. But Luke Whitehouse of Great Britain guaranteed at least a silver. The last gymnast then. in this floor final.
Nice opener, double pike front somersault, little bounce forward. And again, that step out, costly, only 0.1 per foot. And another hop back. You can just see the difference between the top performer. It really is, you have to be so accurate to stick the landings, and that's a skill in itself, because the floors are sprung and they're on top of a podium, so you really need to absorb the floor and to control. Dolga Payat is an absolute master of that. Double twist. Again, it's a big experience for some of these younger gymnasts. That was much better control. Easier to control the relatively easier skills, without stating the obvious. Triple twist finish there. Well, I don't think it's going to upset the apple cart at the top. So, this wait for confirmation.
Yes, wait for confirmation indeed. We can tell you that Harry Hepworth has been pushed down into fourth. He did score the same as the gymnast in third, Milan Hosseini, but because of execution and the difficulty, Hosseini had a 5.9 difficulty, so he beats Harry Hepworth on execution.
Well, another very classy young gymnast here. The French didn't figure really at all in the all-around competition, but as specialists, they've got some impressive young gymnasts. Just not quite so precise on those landings.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. I don't think it'll challenge the top three. But again, a great learning experience for this gymnast, and I'm sure we'll see a lot more of him in the future within the French team. Again, another nation that's probably going through a bit of a transition. Lovely balance routine.
The tumbling, the level of tumbling from these gymnasts these days is quite astounding. You know, the equipment over the years has improved, and this sprung floor is helps tremendously.
So Lucas Deschange, 13.366. So there is confirmation that Luke Whitehouse is the new men's European floor champion. He takes the gold ahead of the Olympic champion and former European champion Artem Dolgopyat and Milan Hosseini of Germany. He takes the bronze, beating Harry Hepworth in fourth to bronze on execution. He is with his medal around his neck. I mean, you both know what that feels like to step up onto the podium there and to be the very best in Europe. And my word, like you say, he stepped onto the senior stage and he's, yeah. So he's, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. He's been working in the background and doing quite a lot of the World Cups, and it's just been great to see that journey. Leeds Gymnastics have brought through a lot of young, talented athletes, and they've just been working away, watching the obviously the team in Liverpool last year, giving them that boost. And Luke, to be fair, has been going out to all the World Cups, getting his name on the scene, so that when he does go to the majors, the judges are already aware of him. He's not having to make his name there.
Well, we'll take a pause for the anthem, which I think is just coming up now.
Bayanlar ve baylar, sizleri İngiltere Ulusal Marşı için ayağa kalkmaya davet ediyorum.
And now, please rise and direct your attention towards the flag ceremony and the national anthem of Great Britain.
Tüm sporcuları tebrik ediyoruz.
Yeah, Dolga Payet was